Okay.
Roll call.
We're here for the August 28th meeting of the Escada Parks and Rec Commission. Can I have a roll call, please?
Yes, Commissioner Jackson, present. Commissioner Tesdall,
Here.
Commissioner Lanchitsky,
Here.
Commissioner Brandt,
Here.
Commissioner Shebrel,
Here.
Commissioner Huff,
Here.
and Chair Balomo.
Here.
Alrighty.
And then can I have a motion to approve the minutes of last month's meeting?
I'll move to approve.
Can I have a second?
Aye. Seconded.
And then all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Perfect. All right. Citizen and concerns and comments? Anyone online? Oh, okay. Anything, Shirley? All good? All right, perfect. Commission business, okay, first, point of business, concert in the park, August 25th, review and discussion. We actually had pretty good turnout on the last concert. It was Ray Gordon. It was, decent turnout. Over the course of the concerts in the park, we've probably filled out, I don't know, 50, 60 surveys over the course of the 5 concerts, which is pretty good. We get, I mean, mostly the same people. Next year, I think it's not gonna, it might not be, it won't be from 2 to 4 in the afternoon.
Okay.
We'll have to decide on a new, I think the day may stay the same, but the hours may change just based on. Maybe we'll get more
2 to
people.
4
in
is very
later.
hard for families.
Yeah.
Kids.
Yeah, we had great turnout for the Cashmere Effect was the one the kids liked, but I think we're gonna move it to maybe a different day. I don't know. I think Sundays worked, but definitely probably a later time, especially because it's in the summer. The only ideas that we had while doing the concerts, so we were given so we had like chalk for the kids, crayons, coloring pages, which were a hit. Everyone loved the coloring pages. I was thinking next year we could have like, depending on when the concerts are and stuff like that, we could do like a school drive and like maybe like invite people. Like we could pick up, like take a portion of the budget, like spend like $100 on like cheap notebooks and like crayons and like the stuff kids needs for school, and like give them out as part of as part of our table, and maybe we'll get some more turnout that way. And just looking for new and different vendors to come out and do food and stuff like that. The only issue we ran into this year was just because our turnout isn't very much for a business to come out to do it. Christie's does it because she's local and she likes coming out. But if like we truly wanted more vendors to come, we would either need more people or we'd have to set a minimum sale limit, which would be like $700 to $1,000 per vendor. Which we would, if we had one main food vendor, that would add like $5K to the parks budget for. We would need to dig into it by that much to have some like few extra vendors come, but yeah. What you guys most people came to at least a couple of them. So what did you guys think of the series?
I was only able to do Cashmere Effect because I was out for the rest of the summer. So
Any ideas on improvements?
definitely a later time. Just it's like the hottest part of the day on a Sunday. Yeah.
I think something like 3 to 5 or 4 to 6,
Okay.
Yeah.
because then it's still early enough where, it's not interfering with people's Monday morning or anything, but
I like 4 to 6.
yeah.
Yeah, because then it's, it's a dinner hour for people.
Mhm.
Bring a picnic.
Yeah.
Or that'll help with food vendors
Yeah.
if it's gonna be around a time where people are gonna be eating anyway.
Although
Yeah.
that is actually an even hotter time of the day during the summer, but we should look into that to shade.
Yeah. I felt like we put up the shades that we did put up, people definitely utilized.
Yes. All the canopies I brought out, everyone would sit under them for sure.
Yellow jacket traps are a must. My back is feeling much better.
You took one for a team and got stung by a bee at the last concert. But I think a permanent shade option for
Yeah,
that
permanent shade
amphitheater
option
Yeah.
for sure.
is something that the city needs to look into.
I mean,
Oh.
even those really large like canvas tents where you can put like a trailer or something under it, like even if that can go over the seating area.
Yeah.
And then it could be seasonal, leave it up all summer, but it's not like a structure.
Right.
Um,
The 4 to 6, I think you're right with the food, like
Yeah.
it's dinner time.
Mhm.
People are gonna be hungry, to purchase food or bring it or.
trying to think. I mean, I thought it was fun. I just like music in the park.
Yeah.
Um. As for kids, to like keep them entertained, because even though we had those things out, I don't feel like kids were really using them as much. I think there was a few, but
You had to like go up to people and like
Yeah.
tell them you were giving them something, or like,
Yeah.
hey, come grab this, instead of like people
so
like
maybe signs.
like volunteering to come over and like
Yeah.
talk to you.
That's true. So maybe signs though, like kids' activities right here, so that way
Could you
they
put it
feel-
right in front of the stage? I don't know how the layout works, but
Yeah, we could probably.
Yeah, I
'cause everybody's gonna be looking at the stage. They're more likely to see the activities.
Yeah.
I will say where our table was, maybe we weren't as much of a view, like insight.
It was the only place in the shade that we could have set
Yeah.
up.
That makes sense. that
Yeah,
makes
I think
sense.
maybe use the canopies and move that stuff out onto the grass, like above the amphitheater part, so that way it's, instead of having like everything around the corner for the kids, especially if people are trying to also see the show,
Yeah.
Sure.
and then you've got integrated a little bit better.
Like maybe if we do have like some sort of permanent shade structure and we set up the canopies behind it, then we just set up the tables like on the like right in front of the path.
Yeah.
So as people are walking in, they would see the tables and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's probably a good idea. That's pretty, new layout for the concerts, yeah.
Have we ever done movies in the park?
That was brought up.
I was thinking about pitching it for like, cause we have the Halloween event but I was thinking like for a winter event.
Yeah.
Like,
I just wonder about rain.
I would say if we can use the community room. Like if we just open the doors of the community room and then like set up the chairs in there and use it as like in the park, even though, I mean, it's gonna be in the room, we'll have to have a projector and everything. But if we could do like a holiday movie, like people could come out and watch it, and like we could have like the popcorn people come and stuff like that. That could be something we could, as for our winter event, that could be cool.
Mhm.
You could do like Apple, where you stick your head in the.
Oh.
Yeah, bobbing.
Apple
Yeah, there we
apples.
go.
That freaks me out.
MacGyver does do the movies at the park in the summer.
So
I
does
don't know what
Bachelor.
They're really late though.
are they really late?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It starts at
no,
like 9 or something.
Yeah,
Like, wait,
all the movies in the park are so late.
yeah,
Yeah, because the sun's.
I was gonna say,
yeah, because we actually do those at home, like we project onto but it's always like, it's a struggle halfway through the movie with kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think during the winter though, because the sun's
It gets
like.
dark out
Okay,
at
4.
4.
Yeah.
It's like right
Yeah,
there.
the winter would be a really cool idea.
You could even do it during the dinner time, like at 5 o'clock or something. and
Yeah.
then people might buy food or.
Sure.
Yeah, maybe you could do like before the movie, you could do like decorating mini pumpkins or something, or
Yeah.
some sort of activity, and then,
Yeah, we could, I mean, if you guys wanted to set up, we could have it around, if you guys wanted to like around Thanksgiving, around Christmas. Is there like a particular month we would like to do it in?
Well, even October, we get, these last few years, we've gotten this like, oh, there's an 80-degree day in October, where you kind of get the best of both worlds. Yeah, you're kind of limited, you're kind of trying to hit the sweet spot, but a late summer, early mid-fall, whatever, maybe the balance for where its temperatures aren't so bad to where it's uncomfortable, but you get the earlier sunset.
Yeah,
Yeah, we do the trick or treat.
I said the only thing is we do the trick or treat.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And we'll have to pick a day for it.
Like the idea of the winter though, because you could do like a holiday movie
Yeah.
or something, you could do hot chocolate or
yeah.
Yeah. If you,
chocolate and popcorn.
if you guys think of a movie and stuff like that, I think we could throw it together relatively quick. Even for
Yeah.
this year, if we want to do a test run to see if people wanted to come out for it.
I think there's a lot of really great like kid-friendly holiday movies, tons to
Like
choose from.
family friendly, you know, that are enjoyable for everyone.
Yeah,
You guys, if you guys come up with one, we're all ears.
I don't know. I like A Christmas Story. That's like a
Yeah.
classic, but
Or Elf or something like that.
yeah, Elf is a
Yeah.
great one.
Are we wanting it to be during like a break or anything? I just pulled up the school's calendar.
Oh, like
Winter
like a school
break.
break. I mean,
Yeah.
if we could line it up with like winter break or something.
Yeah, the only thing is that, you know, a lot of people travel for that.
That's
and
true.
so,
Yeah, they really only, I don't think they really have much in October. But it's like they have the holiday, Thanksgiving, and then like winter break.
Yeah,
So,
there's a lot of travel.
but they have Friday read days,
Right.
so.
So yeah, if you did like an early December type of thing.
Even like the
Mhm.
Friday the 6th or Friday the 13th. Well, the 13th is the last day of school before break. No, because I think we go all the way to the 20th this year, right?
For-
Yeah.
I think it's a late winter break.
Winter break starts on the
23rd, right?
23rd, yeah.
Oh, well.
So like the week of Christmas,
Okay,
yeah.
Yeah, 2 days before Christmas.
sure. Okay.
So the 6th or the 13th is early December where it's not, you know, too close.
Okay. Well, if
Yeah.
you guys want to brainstorm, we can throw it on the agenda for next week or next month.
Yeah,
And
let's
we
do
can,
that.
and we can discuss throwing something together. There's plenty of chairs and plenty of tables in the community room already. I think there's probably 10 to 12 tables and probably a few dozen chairs. So most of the supplies we would need would be there already. So, yeah, we could figure something out like for that, sure.
Cool.
For the Wade Creek Community Room, October is also currently available for public rentals. So if you guys decide on a date before then, or just want to know what days are open, just send me an email or give me a call.
Do you only schedule out to a certain Timeline?
It's 60 days out from the
Okay.
current day. So October is pretty much all available right now.
got
Oh,
it?
okay.
Yeah, so I've just had a few people send in reservations. That's why I'm like, if there's a community event, we could book it out and I can make sure nobody has a rental on that day.
Perfect.
But we're gonna do December, right?
Yeah, I would probably, I think if, with the church trot and the other, I think
Yeah.
probably it's a good middle spot between,
Yeah.
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 between this spring and the trick or trot.
Yeah, I agree.
Cool. Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
February the 13th.
Anything else about
Friday
the
the 15th.
concerts? Concerts, good.
Concerts.
Okay. Fair. Oh, you know what? I was gonna say one thing though. Okay, so Rob Gaskell, he sets up all the bands for the concert in the park. We do, and we're more like the vendors and that type of stuff. Going forward, he was thinking about potentially stepping back from doing it. The only thing was, if he was to continue doing it, if he wasn't to continue doing it, we would have to pay an agency to find the bands to set it up. Like that's what Sandy does. And that's what like the rest of like Malala and stuff, they pay the people who set up the, if it's to keep him on board as like the person going forward doing it, I would just suggest if we find comparable, like how much it would cost us to actually go out and fill a 5 like day slots of concerts throughout the summer, see what it would like truly cost
Yeah.
the city, and if he's willing to do it for like a lower price, but continue to do it going forward, I
Yeah.
do think we should probably pay him for his
Oh, I
services,
agree.
because he
Rob's
does, he
does
spends a lot of time
Rob does a lot.
just putting the music in,
Yeah.
like to get acts together.
Well, and he's setting up and he's like there the whole time.
Yeah.
I mean, he
Mhm.
walks around, like he does a lot, definitely.
Right. So as a group, I was like, I can call some like agencies around and see what they would charge us. And then we can decide like on like what we think would be like a decent amount to potentially pay him for those services. But so as long as everyone's on board with that,
Yeah, no, definitely.
perfect. Okay. And then I'll just do some legwork and just call some people and see what the cost would
Because
have
he's
been.
been volunteering his time for years. For
Yeah,
that. Yeah.
So yeah, I think if we do it next year, it'll probably be like the 5th year that they've done concerts in the park.
Yeah.
It's been doing it for a little while, but
I mean, I know music is Rob's passion, but
yeah.
yeah.
Still probably takes a lot of work. It'd
It
be nice to get
does.
some recognition.
Yeah.
And
Of a payment.
I mean,
and he
and he
does
works
it,
a
like,
full-time job too.
Oh.
from February to, because you have to set them up like 6 months in advance.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's a lot.
So, okay, perfect. point two, Founder's Day planning. So Jerry
Mhm.
asked us if it would be possible for us to plan a Founder's Day event for the city.
Mm.
I was just thinking that potentially, because it would be in May,
Yeah.
so we have about 9 months and he wants to plan like a large event.
Mhm.
I don't know if he wants like Oktoberfest size or like a slightly scaled back Oktoberfest, but that's gonna take a lot of planning, and it would probably take a decent sized budget to actually do all of that.
Yeah.
But I was thinking, since it is a Founder's Day event, I'm gonna rent some books from the library just about like the history of Estacada and stuff like that. I was thinking about potentially working with like the historical people out by the farm store down
Yeah.
the street. If we could potentially have the event there, let the kid, if they do like, What-
Philip Foster Farm?
yeah.
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 Yeah, if we could work with them and maybe we can like set up an event where they can do like activities like pioneer activities with the kids, and then we can do the vendors there. It would be a potential option. The other option would be doing it here, like around City Hall.
Yeah.
Or in downtown, or picking one of the parks. I think it would, if they can actually provide us with activities to do, I think would be our best option.
Yeah.
But we would have, I can call them and see what they say. But
Yeah, I like that option.
Yeah.
but it'll be a lot of planning for this event, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Beverly on the Arts Commission, my mother-in-law, so we talk about it here and there. And there's not really a, like, I don't know, is Jerry kind of leading it all up, or as far as we've known, there's nobody really like taking charge of the whole idea of like the whole year, Founder's Day or whatever. And one of the ideas that we're tossing back and forth was if there would be an opportunity for a representative of each of the various commissions were able to form a subcommittee to be kind of focused on the 120 years Founder Day, kind of be able to be the oversight of all of it to keep everybody moving in the same direction on that, because there really hasn't been a single figurehead for it, seems like.
Yeah, it seems like something that like Chamber of Commerce and like DEC would want to be in on too. I mean, if we do have it here.
Mhm.
It would definitely take working with pretty much everybody. If we were gonna throw together like a big event like that, it would take working with probably a majority of different people on different committees and stuff like
Yeah.
that, right, for sure. Oh, if they have the capacity and the ability to do it, I could, we could see if Tammy, the head of the DEI,
Mhm.
If she wanted to do another committee summit where she picks a few, or we have a few volunteers from every
Mhm.
Right.
every committee,
Yeah.
and then, because we do it probably, I think we've done it twice, right?
Right.
So if we can get her to set up another one of those like quick.
Yeah.
And then we can try to figure out if we have volunteers that are willing to do that, then if we have the people who are willing,
Yeah.
like, and can support, like, and toss some time to it, I think that would be a good option.
Yeah, and as far as like historical, like looking into the history, one of the things that Beverly shared with me was that there used to be like a museum of Estacada, and all that stuff ended up at the museum in Oregon City, the Clackamas County Museum in Oregon City. And I don't know if it's like in an exhibit or if it's just stored there or whatever, but most of the city old history items, everything is there. So that may be something that you need to look into, is
Sure.
gathering more information about that era and everything, what was going on. Like if we were able to find as like many photos of the different buildings as possible and have those displayed throughout the city.
You could do like a pop-up museum.
Yeah, something, and who knows, maybe they'll be like, oh yeah, we can take that stuff and make us a little exhibit that we could bring. Or I don't know, I've never looked into it.
Sure.
But,
I feel like we
That-
could also ask like members of our community too, like if they have, like make a posting like, hey, like email the city sharing photos that, because I mean, I can imagine.
A lot of
Yeah.
history.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be good community involvement if people have like old
And, like,
pictures from back when their family first
Send like a
came.
little tidbit with your pictures too, if you can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We could do the full timber festival with the games by using period tools.
Yeah. Well, so like one of the things that we had found out was they had done like community dances all the time. And they did like this dance where they would put on like they would wear like burlap and stuff like that, like super like dressed down, like, and not like making fun of it, but just to represent really difficult times or whatever. And they would do that as a community. And like, if there was the ability to do events like that, and like there's a lot there to work with. So.
Sure.
But yeah, I definitely think a big event would be good.
Is each committee in charge of doing an event, or is it gonna be one event that we're all participating in?
No, I think for the Founder's Day specifically, I can't remember what day in May that he told me he wanted to do it. Like,
Yeah.
but there's like a very specific day where like the city was founded in May. He wanted like us to be like
The head.
yeah, like the people like really driving it forward and like
Okay.
getting like the people to volunteer, getting
Mhm.
like this, like how arts like spearheads the arts of the creek or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like he wanted like parks to be like the driving force behind
it.
it. Is what it was
Okay.
what it sound it is what I got from the
So
conversation.
it's gonna be one event to celebrate Founder's Day rather than like multiple events.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, exactly.
So if we're getting the other committees involved though, like you're saying, what's the first step?
I would say if we could get DEI to put together a little summit, maybe like next month. And then we get representatives from everybody from, if she can't do that, then we can like either invite people, like someone from each of the committees to come and hang out and chat for a little bit. And we could just have like a few people here and we can plan it like that. If they had, we could either email the different emails for the different commissions and then just see if anyone's willing to do it.
Mhm.
Or we can have, like I said, we could try to set up a summit and do it that way. It's either email all of them, or maybe we can sit down with people in person and discuss it, but I think those are our best options.
Okay, and how soon are we wanting to get that ball rolling?
If
I feel like
If-
May will be here fast.
Yeah,
May
no,
will be here
May
quick,
will- that's why I'm
especially if
like-
it's gonna be a big event, I think.
like what-
Like next month would be a good, like jumping off point, just to see
Okay.
where like, if we can just gauge people's interest and their ability to do, like, to throw some hours at it. I
Okay.
think they'll be, if we're gonna start setting up vendors and stuff like that, and if you wanna do like music and that type of thing, we'd probably we'd have to start like talking to people like 6 months out.
Yeah,
So it would be like November, December, and trying to put things together that way. I
okay.
think the first thing would be doing the legwork on a location.
Yeah,
And once we have a location, then we can try to fill it out that way.
Yeah.
Is what I think.
The location probably depends on what kind of event though, right? Like
True.
if we're doing something with like artifacts, like it probably shouldn't be out. Well, May's hit or miss, but it just depends on
Yeah.
Yeah,
like what
yeah, I
we
mean,
do.
I would almost think of like doing something here, like how like the holiday lighting and stuff is kind of indoor, outdoor here.
Mhm.
And that, it always rains a little bit during that, so I could see doing something like just right here. I mean, it makes sense at City Hall and it's the city. Have something that can be kind of stand inside and out.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, the only thing is if it's here, then I think it would like versus like saying if we could do it like in the field where they have like all the
Yeah.
stuff.
just
Yeah.
the space.
Logistically, it would be harder to do it here just because we would like Oktoberfest. I'm sure they have to get permits to cut off streets.
Mhm.
Yeah,
They have to get the
yeah.
like police and like security and like that.
I'm
type
quite
of thing.
familiar with this application process.
Yeah. I think legit it may be easier if we were off, like
Right,
out that
Yeah.
way.
yeah,
I agree with that. Okay, so first step is gauging interest.
Yeah,
emailing. Second step is locations.
yeah, and,
Yeah,
and
okay.
deciding what kind of event, like,
Yeah.
we want people like, if they could bring like replicas of like wagons from back then, or whatever, like
Mhm.
whatever events we want to do, whether like they can, like, if they can even just bring like events and do them here, like we can do like, people do like candle making or whatever,
Oh, yeah.
you know, different stuff. I just, I don't know right now, like, their capacity to do those types of things.
Yeah, okay.
But if you guys want to ask around and look and see if people are, what they would be willing to do, or what I look for locations, that type of thing, like feel
Mhm.
free to call people and see what's going on.
Okay.
Anything else?
It's number 4 on our agenda, duplicate of what we just discussed.
That's the
No.
whole
Or-
year.
Yeah, I mean, kinda, in a sense, you know, it's like,
There's Founder's Day and then there's,
yeah.
okay,
The vendor is like very specifically like,
an
of
event
like,
This
on the
is
if
day.
they want to have
day.
like yeah, exactly, like a day, they
Okay.
want to event and they want to like do things and hang out
Right,
and that type of thing. Whereas like, I think like the other stuff, like the 100th anniversary is just like incorporating that into
right,
like the events that start next year
okay,
is like the difference. I don't know, like how we, like how much we incorporate it, and like whether we have like activities giveaway, or like things for like, you know, stuff like that.
like for sprint in the spring, we give out burlap instead of t-shirts.
Exactly.
like
You come in your pilgrim garb right, and you run a 5K. Dressed as an old, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, perfect,
We'll have there's
Full
the
of-
finish line stones.
yeah.
But okay, all right. Perfect. It was just, yeah, it was mostly preliminary, like just discuss, like as long as people are,
Getting it out there.
yeah, yeah, as long as like we're all good with trying to do the event, then
Mhm.
then that's cool. Perfect. All right. The park survey and discussion, bought the signs are in parks, so hopefully people can just, will scan the QR code
Mhm.
and submit them. Online, like I said earlier, I'll check again tonight, but we're probably sitting around 50 online submissions right now, probably about 50 in person. Oh, you know what? I also did give, there's a group who likes to play pickleball, like in the middle school. I gave the guy who's the head, I gave him like 50 surveys, and he's gonna spread them out like around the churches and stuff.
Could
So-
we put, I don't know if we have extra yard signs put, and I don't know the rules to it, but like, could we put a yard sign in front of the elementary schools?
I think we would have to ask the school board. If they're fine with it, I have no problem chucking one
You know, like if people
there.
are dropping off and scanning it or something.
Yeah, we would have to ask the school board
Yeah.
before we put it on school property, but, or even if
The
they would
parking
just let us
lot.
tape it, or not tape it, but like zip tie it to the fence where the tennis court is, like just so it's facing
Yeah.
outwards. If they're fine with that, we would just have to ask them if they would be fine.
I
with it.
wonder if Bettina, the school, she does like community resources for families, and she sends out different notifications on Parent Square. Like if she could like include, like if there's resources for other people, like just a picture of the QR
I was
of the
just thinking,
sign.
do you know the person?
I
Yeah.
know Bettina
Yeah.
really well.
Oh,
Yeah.
if you guys, I can send you guys either the QR code PDF or the link. And if
Yeah.
you can pass it to her, and then she can just share it
Yeah.
with whatever. group
Yeah,
she
and
has.
cause she runs the food pantry, you know, and so like, and there's always a lot of traffic in the food pantry. And
Okay.
so just thinking about, you know, like community members go to the food pantry that
Yeah.
aren't necessarily associated with the school, like there's
Yeah.
just really, there's a lot of opportunity there.
And I totally forgot, I was gonna print some out, but I'm gonna, in the packet email, I'll forward you all the QR code and the link. So if you want to print it out and take it around to like the restaurant, like the country,
Yeah.
and some different, if you want to take it to different places and put it up, that would be great too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be awesome. I'll send you guys all the QR code and you guys can start passing it around to people. That'd be
Sure.
awesome. I put one up in the grind, and I put one up somewhere else, but I don't remember right now. But
Do we have one in Yo Treats?
no, we don't.
There are a lot of kids that frequent, you know, our families,
Sure.
like, if we're trying to get a lot of family input.
Perfect. Okay, well, then, like I said, I'll send it to you guys. If you guys want to print off copies and go stick them in wherever you guys see the pinup boards, that'd be great. Oh, the library was the other
Yeah.
place I put it.
Oh.
So there's one in the library on their wall too.
Do we have one out in front of City Hall?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we got one in every park, one in front of City Hall, and then like I said, around the library and then the grind right now.
Is it legal to
Yeah.
put one on the mailboxes, like in our neighborhood?
Like your own mailbox?
No, like they're like the
Because there's a lot
neighborhood
of Spanish-speaking
mailboxes, do you know
families.
the legislation?
Oh, oh, but not inside of the mailbox.
No, just like tape it, like there are some
Oh, like-
flyers on the side.
There are already flyers. I don't see the harm.
I just don't want it to get us in trouble, but.
You can't put it, I know you can't put things
Yeah.
inside of mailboxes. That's apparently a federal
Right,
crime.
But that, I know like sometimes people post or like tape up stuff on the side of our like neighborhood mailboxes, you know?
Yeah, if you guys got spots like that and they put up posters and stuff like that already, yeah, stick one up there, see what happens.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe we'll get some more hits.
Is there a Spanish version of the survey?
Would have been a good.
So I'm just wondering about like, maybe Todos Juntos too, that can, they
Sure.
have access to a lot of Spanish speaking families that
That's a
maybe
good
we
point.
can,
Didn't even think about that.
yeah.
Yeah, we can convert it to Spanish.
I have one piece of feedback.
What you got?
Anytime we do a QR code, we should include the whole URL with it, even if we're using a shortener. Just couple things like, because there's also the quishing thing that's been happening a lot more and more, which is like someone putting up a sign kind of like this as a QR code, but it doesn't have a URL.
Uh-huh.
And then when people go to it, it's like a hacker website.
Eh.
So and it's called quishing. It's like QR code phishing. So it's like,
Creative.
yeah, so it's standard practice now to always include the URL. So some people won't use the QR code and they'll type it instead if they're really afraid of it. Or the other thing is they'll use the QR code and then when they see the actual URL come up, they're confirming like, okay, this actually went to where it said it was going to go.
Interesting.
We
I
just
did-
go
Oh, is that
sticky
what
note
it
it.
That's a good. What do you plan about that? But they could put like a fake QR code, like, or not a fake link, like, 'cause then
Yeah.
it'll take them to like a hack. website,
Yeah,
right?
that can still, well, and that's part of it too, is someone can put like a valid URL and make it look legit.
Right.
And if the QR code doesn't match the URL that comes up, if someone's like savvy enough, they'll be like, wait, that's not where it went.
Right.
And then be like, nope, I'm done.
Got it.
I think most people don't know that yet, but,
I was gonna say.
but I think that people, like, I think in the next year or so, this is gonna be a normal thing for people to be like, I'm not opening a QR code unless I see the link, or they're typing the link instead. Like opening a QR code in the wild is kind of like opening a link from an email
You're right.
rather than typing it in, so.
Interesting. Okay.
So like on the Questicata things, they all have the URL right there, and I made them as short as possible. It's like questicata.com/run. Like that's it. And just so people can just be like, I'm just gonna type it.
Do we have any other languages in the area that are prevalent besides Spanish?
I feel like Russians up there.
Okay, all good.
I think Spanish is definitely
big-
the big
okay.
one.
Yeah, we can make that. We can do that for sure. Perfect.
100 surveys is pretty good to start. I mean,
But that's not bad. For
Yeah,
considering how much input we usually get on things, that's not bad.
yeah, nice.
It was funny because I was putting one of the signs I was putting the replacement one at Wade Creek. And a younger dude was like, "Oh, what's it for?" I was, "Oh, it's for a city survey." And he was like, "Oh, I got some opinions." I was like, "Great, fill it down." Perfect.
I love it.
All right, then I will email you all that stuff after this. And then, like I said, feel free, you guys, mailboxes, stick it wherever you guys feel, and let's see what happens.
Is the city putting inserts into utility bills for the survey?
No, but if you guys want to make a flyer or an insert, then you can just email me one before the 20th of the month and we can work on putting it as a water bill insert.
That might be a really good idea
Yeah.
to
Fantastic.
Yeah,
reach everyone.
we'll get to trick or shop, but I know we need to do that for for trick or treat. Gotta update the flyer.
Yeah.
The date.
We could include
Yeah, and then that's something we could
Yeah,
have, we could have.
on
Parks
our
and Rec
trick or
It could just be
newsletter.
on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it would be trigger trot / park survey.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Kind of like a newsletter type.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how much is it again to do that? Like $200 for to do it all?
Three.
It usually depends on how many are generated. It's about that on average, I guess.
Got it.
Yeah, per month.
Have we decided if we're gonna put anything at the trigger trot for like the park surveys, like? Yeah.
Well, there is a sign up at the park that the trick or trot is done at.
We'll probably have like the blank ones to see
Yeah.
if people want to fill them out, because we'll be there setting up and everything. Yeah, we'll probably have like, if you guys want to pass them out to the families who come, that'd be great.
And there's already a yard sign there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Should be.
Hand out pieces of candy with the QR code.
You want candy, you have to fill it out. And you just need it before the 20th of September, right?
Yes.
Do you have how much of the budget we've used at yet?
I have it saved somewhere on my drive.
If you for next meeting.
Yeah.
Not to worry about it today. I was just curious.
And if I get like specific details on the cost of it, or if you want me to just email you the budget, I can do that as well.
Perfect. Oh, does someone want to put together the flyer for the trick or trot or the park survey?
Yeah, I'm already doing it.
So you already doing it?
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, I already have the trick or treat flyers after the date, and I could just reformat it a little bit to include survey info.
Perfect. Okay. Yeah, we don't have to worry about 4. We can just do we don't have we saw the trick or trot before next year anyway, so I'm not too worried about that one. Do you want to talk about the spring?
Yeah, so I met with Melanie and we went over the plan, revised the route a little bit. And so she's already saying it looks good and we should definitely do it and it will be approved. There's a little bit of like chicken before the egg situation going on, why I couldn't do the full application. Because it's like if we get it certified, USATF will insure the event. So it's like in order to finish the application, I have to provide insurance. But I have to have a finished application to get the certification to get the insurance. So it's like I could get insurance, finish the application, and then get the certification and then cancel the insurance and then get the new insurance. Or it was just like, can we just have your word, that everything looks good? So we got into some details on where we put flaggers and all that stuff. And so she's like, yeah, we should totally do it. It will be approved. So I moved to approve the $500 for certification of the course. Because once we have that, then I can actually get into like the final details, the final sign off on the application, and then we're off to the actual races.
Perfect.
And you said, or I think you said something about if you get it registered, other people can like have access to the race, like if you go to sign up or something.
Yeah,
Like
so-
it could bring other people in.
Yeah, once it's US ATF certified, it opens up a lot of resources and promotion and and insurance and all these things. And also because it's US ATF certified, it makes it so that and then because of the way that the course is routed, it's eligible for records. So and it's a pretty fast course. You have that hill at the beginning, but it's like you get that out of the way and then you get to spend most of the time running flat or downhill. So it's a quick course. And so someone who's like looking to in Oregon, who's like looking to up their ratings or PR or something like that officially, it's going to be a good course to do it. And so it's going to and also just because of the reach it's going to have where it's like, hey, I'm looking for a 5K like in the next few months or something, some sort of tune-up race before Boston, and it's like it's kind of lined up for that.
Sure.
So yeah.
2 questions.
Mhm.
Are they are they gonna have an official come out and like do the time and all that stuff from the?
No, so we would do chip timing and so that would be a separate cost. I have a friend who actually has the whole chip timing rig and I know he already said, he's like, yeah, I could set you up. It wouldn't be free. But this is the kind of thing where we're collecting fees and we should also seek out some sponsors.
Sure.
I think specifically we should seek out sponsors for covering just the chip timing.
Okay.
And then the fees that we get, and then charge for shirts, which is like a nominal fee. I think we were able to do it for really cheap last time. And then the fees the entry fees that we collect should be like donations that are going to the parks, that are going to parks. And then there will be some other small, like minor expenses like metals and stuff like that. But those are actually all fairly nominal. A full chip timing setup for everybody is going to be a few $100s, $700. But you get 2 or 3 sponsors and and that's done.
So we're looking at 500 for 10 years of certification.
Yeah, one time fee for 10 years.
And then 700 for
Chip timing.
chip timing.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And then and then we would get some metals made up.
Or for the 500, are you fine paying for it and then just doing a reimbursement?
Possibly it would be nicer if I didn't have to do that, but I could.
Okay,
Yeah,
I mean,
so.
Could the city just cut a check to the business to the organization directly?
I believe so. I'd have to check with AP.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
That's cool.
Yeah, and I could put all the people in touch that need to talk to each other. So
Great.
How long, did you say it was a 5K?
yeah,
What's the cost to the entry cost?
we would be charging $30, which is about almost half to a little bit over half of what most USATF certified courses will charge.
And everyone who pays the fee gets a shirt for the run?
No.
We would they'd have to buy a shirt.
Oh, okay.
So the
but-
$30 is just to get you into the race and get a chip.
And then
Yeah, and in finishing medal.
And if, oh,
And then the shirt would probably be like, I think we charged $10 last time because we were able to get them for like $4 each, $5 each. And then, so anything above those costs goes to, goes back to parks
sure.
or to the city or, however we want to do it. And then the, also, covering costs, covering that initial $500.
Mhm.
And then ideally we find some sponsors that are like, for $200, you can have this big presence and it's like all over the thing. So,
Sure.
to help cover the chip timing. And I think between the entrance fees and any sponsors we can get, like we should be able to cover it and then put money back into like the parks fund
Perfect.
or parks budget.
And how did we accept payment for, like the last time we did it with the shirts? How did we set up the payments to go to the city?
I have to see how we did that. I think that we actually just had a dip jar
Mm-hmm.
and then, but we can do something a little more sophisticated, I believe. So-
I thought we set up a page that people paid online. I can't remember.
We have a Venmo account or something. We put it on.
Remember.
Yeah, I gotta see how we did it before.
Okay.
We did something.
And we're just trying to get the local businesses to like, maybe we'll throw us like some signs together or something to like,
Yeah,
or along the parade route for the sponsors.
right.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that's good. Perfect. Thanks.
would the sponsors get like a couple free entries to the race?
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea. We should do that.
Sure.
I mean, that's a pretty standard
Like as a,
thing.
like a
Right.
perk to
As like a package.
sponsor, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. We should absolutely do that.
Yeah.
Do
that's
they
cool.
get like a logo on the shirts and stuff?
Yeah,
The
yeah,
sponsors.
and exactly. That's what I'm thinking is that like, that would be a part of it. So if we find any sponsors, their logos would get on the shirt and
And then some kind of sign to honor their sponsorship.
yeah.
Cool. And then, like I said, if they're up for it, if they wanted to give out just like if Froyo or like Time Traveler wanted
Right.
to do like get a free beer, like tokens or
Yeah.
something like that. And then maybe people would hit the businesses after doing the run.
Yeah, so it ends over at it ends like right in front of Christie's, basically.
Cool.
So like basically where that parking lot is, like anyone that's around there, it's truly an opportunity to be like, hey, people are gonna be gathering around here.
Yeah.
And just for the finishing the race, so.
Yeah, and if depending on how many sponsors we can get, if we can like if we can do like $100 a business or something like that, if we get like
Yeah,
9 or 10, then that would pretty easily cover the chips and
yeah,
the other stuff.
yeah. I don't know who wants to drink a beer at 8:30 in the morning, but probably not.
You tell me runners don't like to
I
drink.
think there are lots of races where you get alcohol after.
Yeah.
Isn't that like half the point of the
Mimosas.
Shamrock run?
Right,
Right, that's, should I say,
Shamrock Run is definitely like, yeah. I mean, I don't do that, but I've definitely been on the way to the car and been like, man, it's 9 a.m.
Hey, God dang, you did a lot of work to put that one together. That's awesome. You still bring in your own the clock and everything?
Yeah, that's part of the whole chip timing
Oh,
system.
okay.
So
I just out of curiosity, is it like people like to have them chip like
so
in
the
their shirts?
the bibs have have just like a passive chip inside of them, and then there's this pad at the start and then a pad at the finish. And so whenever it goes over, we can tell, runner number 124 started here. And then they cross the second pad, 19 minutes and 47.12 seconds later. And then there's a whole publishing system for it too. So there's basically a place where all the results can get submitted and like show up immediately. And there's like a text messaging system, like all the times you finish these, and then you go look at your phone and it tells you what your time and place was. And
That's cool.
yeah.
Yeah, I think it's great. I think it's great that we get it's $500. We get 10 years
Yeah.
of the course, and then
Yeah, and we made a couple of small changes to the course that are definitely help it. But one of the things we realized too is it was really helpful to talk to Melanie about this, is that she knows where a lot of where I had the route and like where it was going by, how it's going to change over that 10 years. And like one of the places where I had it, we moved it over a couple of streets because there's actually going to be like a greenway there that so it's there's going to be a couple of spots where it's like I mean, I just ran the course yesterday and it's fine, but it's actually going to improve as like some of these things turn into like big two-way bike lanes and stuff like that instead of roads. And
would the infrastructure changing decertify the course with the organization, or
no, the distance will stay the same. It's like, but it's like the way that road will be used, instead of being like, here's a car, here's 2 vehicle lanes with no sidewalk and and it's just kind of like is dirt off to the side. It'll still be that road, but it's just that we'll be able to say like, we're gonna have like 2 like or like a big multi-use lane that you'll be able to go on instead of like being in the road.
okay? So is the main thing right now just getting all the fees paid for, and then we can start looking for sponsorships essentially? Is that what the next steps?
Yeah, once it's certified, then so as soon as we have certification, then I can hit up USATF to submit the event, get all the insurance and everything set up. And then the last 2 things I need to do is go to CCSO and Estacado Fire and get sign off on the route, which shouldn't be a problem because it's like we already have spots where we know we're gonna have like real like flaggers from Public Works, and everything else can just be volunteers.
Okay.
And I went ahead and filled out like all the volunteer positions and all that. And once that is done, then it's like, and it's completely signed off on, that's the point where we start hitting up sponsors and getting shirts made and stuff like that, or sponsors and then shirts. And we'll also look at getting medals made right away. And we can limit the entry at the start. So like, 50, 60, 70, something like that, just so we can kind of we don't like order too much of anything.
Sure. Yeah, maybe we can do another like pre-sign up so we know how many people, in that way if you can fill as much.
Well, also the way that the application works, you do have to we'll have to cap it anyway.
Okay.
And so when we do the registration, it's like there'll be a certain number of people allowed into the race. And so, if we made it like 75, then it's like we can make sure we have at least like 50 paying slots, and if, you know, if we're giving some out to sponsors.
Got
Um, and then we have room for that, so.
Cool.
What's like an average small town race? Like how many people normally participate?
It totally depends, but
Okay.
it's like, you're gonna be in like the 50 to 150 range.
Okay.
I think that like if this got some traction, the biggest we'd have to probably cap it at like 150, 160,
Okay.
like eventually if it, you know, really took off.
We're not gonna have a few thousand people run it.
No, especially when we made some tweaks to the course for like future compatibility and improvement, it shortened it up a little bit. And so I actually had to move the start to, ironically, Short Street. So it backs out a little bit and kind of like starts. It's actually kind of cool that it makes more sense to start it over kind of by where the Timbertown Grub is, almost over that way. It's like a much easier like contained gathering spot where we don't have to worry about people zipping around roads and stuff like that while they're getting ready.
How many volunteers do you think?
Well, I have to look at my application again, but it was like, there were the volunteers that I put on the application were, people that are helping with crossings. Cause a couple spots need real flaggers, but we had, 8 on-course volunteers. And then there were a bunch of things for the finish and stuff like that, where it's just like as many as we can get.
And they're fine with like us being the volunteers, but.
Yeah, for
okay.
sure.
Perfect.
What's the date again?
April 5th. So it'll be the first Saturday in April, which, and the nice thing is that, if anyone is doing Boston and Oregon, and because a lot of people do like to do tune-up races a little bit out, it makes it so it's always 2 weeks, 2 weeks and 2 days before Boston.
Are there a lot of races like in small cities like that, or not some, is it unique or?
Yeah, no, that's a thing.
Oh.
I've done a bunch of them too, so, yeah. And yeah, but they're usually put on by like a professional organization where, I mean, like that's, so like a for-profit organization.
Right.
And so it's usually like, you know, you've got some town, they have their event in like their 5K or 10K, but it's, you know, like their 5K is like $60.
Got it.
You know, it's $60 to run for, if, you know, and if you actually are racing, $60 to run for 16 minutes is,
That's how long it takes for a 5K.
It takes him.
yeah.
This does not take me.
not-
I mean, if you're literally sprinting
Yeah.
into
Yeah.
spring.
Yeah,
That's
but that's the thing, if sprint in the spring, and
For the
if it's a
100K
5K.
stroll.
people-
Like,
Yeah, I was like, cause that would
Uh,
be really impressive for myself.
like a walker's route.
Yeah, we were gonna allow an hour for like the whole event, so. For people who do wanna just walk it,
Perfect. Cool.
but even then, it's $1 a minute for a 5K.
Is
bad.
the,
Oh, 50 cents a minute.
is the route wheelchair friendly for those who want to participate on wheels?
Yeah, it should be, there's no,
Just the hill.
I was gonna say you might, they might.
yeah, yeah, we do have the hill at the beginning, but, I mean, but Boston also has a wheelchair race, and our hill is nothing next to what happens
Yeah.
on that course.
I was just curious about the, the other, I don't know. I forgot what the route was, but like, I'm just curious just for,
Like paved.
are there any like curb cutouts that block, you know, where they'd have to go into the road off of the curb? And I'm just trying to think about, because I know there are people in the town that
Yeah.
are in wheelchairs that probably would like to come out and support
Right.
and or do the route.
There is one spot when you're on Eagle Creek Road where it's really wide right now, and is it right before 10th where it gets narrow between like the road and the curb. And then forget the name, and then when you go down Wade, that is eventually going to be a multi-use path. Right now it's road, and we're gonna put cones up there to kind of take up part of the road, so it will be paved. But it's kind of like pavement that turns into dirt.
Mm.
So anyone who was on wheels would need to they just have to kind of hover to the left, like of where the cones are. Not, they don't have to go outside of the cones. They would just
Okay, okay.
they kind of be up against them, whereas like someone else can go on the right. But yeah, it's saying eventually that the intention there is for that to all become paved.
Cool.
And and then also that part that I was just telling you that does stick out. Cause I was noticing that too, cause I actually was running with my kids and I was like, oh, we've got this one little bottleneck here, but I think even all of that is supposed to like, we're supposed to have like basically like bike paths going down there. So we might even change the crossing so that when you get to that, you actually cross the road and take the bike paths down. So you've got a lot more room.
Okay.
Yeah, other than that, yeah, it's pretty clean and big and lots of room to move.
150 people doesn't seem like a ton of crowded air, like,
No, and part of it too is the nice thing.
there'll be people doing the 16-minute
Yeah,
race
the-
and then the walkers.
Part of like having the hill and we have a closed street at first is that it spreads the field out really quickly.
Yeah.
So it's like the way that the speed at which people can get up a hill like that is gonna be really variable. And so it's gonna turn from a crowd into a line
Yeah.
to like a bunch of dots really fast. Like basically coming out of that hill, you're probably not gonna have anyone going 2x2 anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was, when it was more casual, we would always have like people like him who finished like 3 people who would finish in like 16 minutes.
Yeah.
And then we'd have like majority people like come in around
24 or 30.
Yeah, 24. And then like the older folks would take like the full hour
Yeah.
to get all the way through it. Some would just like stop halfway through, but you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was always relatively spread out. Nice. Any other questions for Steven?
Oh yeah, so do we want to officially approve that or like?
Oh.
Do we need any officially? Do we
Oh.
need to officially approve like any of the expenses that we do?
I mean, we did budget. for it.
I think it's just for major motions,
Okay,
so.
all right, yeah,
Perfect.
and I think we had that in our budget anyway, so.
I think so. I got all the ones I did all signed off on, and as long as we had the 2 signatures, we should be good.
Okay,
But if the city's cutting the checks anyway, then as
Yeah.
long as you guys get the invoices right, then it's all good. Perfect.
I think it just needs to be approved first, but as long as all the information's there, I don't really see much issue with it.
Perfect.
Okay.
Cool. That's good. Okay, and then the last is the trigger trot, which is our other run that we do.
yeah, it's the much easier one. I think just if I had more time tomorrow, I would just do it tomorrow, but I don't because we're starting our Labor Day weekend. But next week, I think we should get into, well, one, I'm gonna update the flyer,
Okay.
make sure we'll get that to you in time for the water bill. But we need to get into all the stuff and see what we have.
Yes.
What's the date of that trigger trot?
It's the Saturday before Halloween at
Saturday
like,
Halloween.
I forget if it was 2 p.m. Is that when we usually do it? 3 p.m. It's in the afternoon because it's always like soccer, which now I've entered the fray.
So the
I-
23rd, oh no, that's November, the
Yeah.
26th.
That sounds right. Yeah.
That's on Sunday,
It's always the Saturday before Halloween.
so 25th.
Okay.
That's my
Yeah.
favorite. All right.
No,
October 25th is this Saturday.
I think you're on
26th.
Oh, I
Yeah.
am in 2025, you're right.
26th is the
Because we just
Saturday.
had this.
I know.
I was like, wait,
I
what
put
year
it in
am I
April. I was like,
in?
We just put in April, so we were both in.
Oh.
20,
so
I did the
26,
same thing.
okay, so I'm like, what? Yeah. Got it.
Double header soccer game that day.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's why we do it in the afternoon.
Yeah.
It's, we know that because they're doing soccer. And you always think that they're not gonna have the energy to come out and run it, but they do.
Yeah,
Like,
candy motivated.
And I think
I
it
have to look
was
at the
4
flyer
o'clock.
again.
Okay.
I think there's football that day too, just FYI.
That should be fine.
It's a youth league
Oh,
football.
Yeah.
So it depends on, I don't know if that day will be a home game, but they always do it at the stadium if it is. So
do you know the time? Is it a morning thing?
I don't have the schedule yet, but like for my son, since he's 8th grade, they do it later in the day. So the younger it is, the earlier it is,
In
and it
8th
goes
grade-
all day long.
That does skew much older than what we usually have there.
Okay,
So I think usually we see like the oldest kids around like 12.
okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, this is more like,
But afternoon for sure.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, always.
Perfect.
And I feel like it was 4. My son's gone to every single, he
Okay.
loves that thing.
Yeah, whatever
think
I
the
have on
first
the
one
flyer
is-
for the time, it's like the only thing I ever have to change is the date is like the number on the date and we
What
keep
time
the
does
time
it
the
get
same.
dark in October? Isn't that
This is before the time change.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's 1 week before the
Okay,
time, 1 or 2
that's
weeks.
good.
before the time change
Yeah.
I'd say
happens.
the first
I know
one
it
is
like,
too.
like 7-ish
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
is when it
So we
starts to
stuck in
get
what's
dark.
like-
So, yeah, we just have to make sure we've got enough metals. We need to,
I was gonna ask,
And-
I know we have medals, we've used the same medals for like 3 years. Do we want to commission new ones?
that's what I'm saying. I want to check. We should probably make sure we have at least 150.
Mhm.
And then,
Does it get dark in October?
we've got, we bought an arch, right?
I haven't yet.
The inflatable arch.
Yes.
And then,
I do have the arch of the house.
and then in the past, we've tried to do a registration form and have them do the waiver online, but like 2 people will do the waiver online and everyone else signs it there.
Yep.
So I think we should just be like, you can obviously just show up and register, but just do a registration form, don't even worry about the waiver and have everyone sign the waiver there. Cause it's also very clean to be like, sign the waiver, here's your goodie bag.
Yeah.
You know,
Cause we always do, do we do an hour? Is it, how long do how much time do we set aside for it?
and, we usually start hanging out there an hour before the
Mhm.
event and kids come and play in their costumes and stuff like that. And then I don't know that anyone has ever taken more than like 25 minutes to finish it. Like the littlest kid walking it, it's, it's
Is
like,
it a 5K?
it's 0.6 miles.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
It's just
literally,
around.
it's like,
it's,
just a-
it's like, yeah, it's just around Campanella, like
Okay.
on the paths there.
you can do like strollers.
Yeah, people do
Okay.
strollers all the time.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
Because we could do we could say, like, I don't, whatever the time, we show up at 1 for registration, hang out for 40 minutes, and then we could start it at like 1:45.
I'm all like, I'll have to look again, but I'm almost positive that we like are there like fully set up and done at 2 and then we started at 3.
Is that usually what we do?
I think so.
Okay. Yeah, then, yeah, as long as, yeah, but maybe like on the fly, just like come register at like
Yeah.
30 minutes before.
Yeah.
That way, because there's always people.
I
who
think
show
the
up, like,
flyer
right at
says,
the wire.
I think the flyer says something about like that the event is at 2 p.m. and then it says race starts at 3 p.m.
Okay, perfect. Okay, if it says that, that's.
So there's like a registration window and then the race.
Yeah, we bring some canopies out and some tables and
Yeah.
stuff and then,
Fun.
yeah, and then a lot of people do pre-register, which is helpful.
Yes. That is true.
How do we access the pre-registration?
There will be, the flyer in the water bill will have a URL, a
Okay.
QR code with the URL. Printed on it and, yeah, that's it. And then we'll be combining this with the survey this time too, so.
Perfect.
If you guys want me to, I can make like a insert for it on your guys' city page under the board commission or
Okay.
something like that, so.
That'd be great. Yeah. If you want any, if you want to do like a graphic to share, like on Facebook, you could make a little like graphic flyer we could share too.
Okay.
Be good.
Yeah.
So I'll get. Well, is the trick or treat, do we have the medals here at the city somewhere?
I don't know.
I know, cause that's the thing, cause Gina did all that before, but I feel like
Pretty sure it's here.
I'm-
but I
yeah.
can't-
I
don't-
can
I think it's
ask
in
and
my
find
garage.
out if we
I
have
feel-
them stored somewhere
Yeah.
and just let you know if I find them or not.
yeah,
Yeah, that'd be great.
I don't think she took them with her.
I don't think it's it's either here or in my garage.
Right.
It's one of those 2 places.
Yeah.
I'm like 90% sure it's not in my garage. Perfect. Okay, yeah, if you just let me know, that'd be great. But yeah, we'll check for the medals. I know the arch is in my garage. I'll pick up candy so we can give out for the kids.
Mhm.
If anyone has any like Halloween decorations that they want to bring, like to dress at the tents,
Yeah,
we could do that. We could make it new, like we could make a banner, like to put it in front of the table.
right.
And we could have like
We do, we do have banners that have been made too. Yeah, they
Okay.
don't have dates on them, like specifically.
those have
And we have signs and I know we had a bunch of stuff made up that we don't have to, so that we don't have to keep reprinting.
Okay, if you find any of that stuff too, perfect. Let us know.
Yeah, there's a trick or trot package somewhere.
Okay, yeah, okay, we'll
It's in these walls, I believe.
I think I think the ice cream guy would be totally willing to come park and hang out. I know Christie's would probably be willing to come park and hang out. If anyone wants to see if any other businesses want to come and hang out, or if we have any options that way, that would be good. I was gonna, if someone could reach out, I don't know, I could either ask Jessie, the chair of the arts. She had some of the school groups at the Art of the Creek, like the cheerleaders were selling candy
Yeah,
corn, or not candy corn, cotton candy.
cotton candy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If they would like, if anyone knows or has any
For like
contacts
fundraising for them.
for fundraising for
Yeah.
them, if anyone has
Yeah.
any
I think that
contacts
could
for
also be
that.
another Bettina thing, right?
I have a
For-
cotton candy machine,
Oh, okay.
like a nice one.
Like, yeah, reaching out to all the sports.
Yeah,
we wanna do a
if any of the groups want to do
fundraiser.
fundraisers.
Yeah,
Or
That's a
yeah,
good idea.
yeah, even if we want to bring up the contact.
Yeah, you could like
do
ask
that.
Crescendo Dance.
Oh, okay,
See if anybody wants to do hot apple cider or something like that.
sure.
Some,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, if you guys feel free to if you guys reach out to anybody and you get any takers, we'll be.
I can ask, yeah, my cousin, her daughter dances at Crescendo and they do fundraisers all the time because they travel for competitions, so
Sure.
I'll run it by her.
Yeah, yeah, even if she wants to come set up a table and like pass out stuff and do a fundraiser for that, we have no problem with any of that stuff if they would like to, so.
I think getting the schools involved, like the high school, is a good idea,
Sure.
like the dance and football.
Yeah, you could check with Denise too for, she does fundraisers for Unified Sports.
Do you want to check with her?
I can check with her, yeah.
Okay, I don't know who Denise is.
Yeah.
If it's anything with the school district, I have no idea.
Yeah, I'll ask her.
Perfect. Yeah, that'd be great. And then we get tons of chalk so the kids can draw. Yeah, we end up drawing a bunch of Halloween art in the parking lot in Campanella.
Yeah,
So they come out.
and the whole course would go through and draw some of it.
Do we want to we could try to get some like yard games and stuff like that for the trigger trot if and we could just store them here and we bring it out for all the events.
That would be good. Like a Connect Four, cornhole.
Cornhole.
Yes, I'm like, emotion will bring the name to my.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Giant Connect Four is fun.
Okay, if you guys see any like stuff while you're out
Mhm.
and stuff like that, you can you like take a picture of it and then throw it in like the email and see if everyone's on board with getting it.
Okay.
Even if like you got like a generic like cornhole set,
Yeah.
like if someone wanted to like paint it to like say like Esticated Parks or something like that,
Oh, that'd be
I think we could do something like that too. And like I said, whatever we buy, we can just store here
Mhm.
or somewhere, and we can take it out to all the events. So we can look into getting some supplies like that.
That would be really cool.
Yeah,
I
I've
think
built
about
one
it.
before. and It's like $200 in material or whatever, but
Oh yeah.
yeah, it's like you bring the raw thing and then somebody else can paint it or whatever. And
Yeah,
Yeah, because it was funny because we at Malala just had an event at one of the
Yes.
parks, and they had a whole little like
They had
cornfield.
5.
Yeah,
They were having a
little
whole
field, and they were-
tournament.
you have
Yeah.
Happy
It was
Valley
so
does that too.
cool.
It's like whenever they have their events, they just have like a bunch of games that they throw out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, like
I
I
would
said,
like to get to that level one day.
we can start like we have enough of we should have enough of a budget where we can buy things like that.
Yeah.
And then we can just hold on to them forever because they're not, as long as they don't break, then we can.
I mean,
keep
and we
using
could bring them to like the concert in the park.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can use them for every event.
like,
I
eventually-
think investing in a good pair of cornhole boards,
Yeah.
you know, because the flint, like the
Sure.
basic ones, they'll break pretty easily. So finally, I don't know where you find those though.
So a
I
lot
got
of
the-
local people that make them or.
I was gonna say, I got mine from like someone who made them, but I mean,
Yeah.
that was a couple $100.
I mean, honestly, if you like, you still have a contact and like someone can do it, if
Yeah.
we reach out and see if they'd be
We
willing
could
to.
even, if it's not too much, put Estacada Parks and
Yeah.
Rec on. it.
Yeah, well, and that's why it was a couple, you know, because
Yeah,
it was,
custom.
I made like the art, it was like, could you put it on, you know?
Yeah.
So it was definitely very custom.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, if you got a vendor, just, if you wanna just
Yeah.
chuck it in
Okay.
the email, then I can reach out. Maybe like if we can do like, if they wanna do like 2 or 3 sets, maybe they can do it for like a slightly discount, right?
Yeah.
If you buy a couple of them or something like that.
That'd be
We can
cool.
contact people and do stuff like that.
Okay, cool. Definitely. I
Cool.
can reach out to her.
All right. Okay, so the big stuff is check where everything is, and then once we get a gauge of what supplies we have, then we can debate whether, or we can decide whether we need new metals or any of that stuff.
Yeah.
Perfect. You gonna bring the clock? We get, or do you usually bring it for that one?
No, not for that one.
No, for that one, we just hand out the
Yeah.
metals, right?
Yeah.
That's what I thought. Okay. I didn't remember, but perfect. And then if you want to reach out to like the library and see if they want to bring the mobile bookmobile, I think they brought it last year. I can ask them.
I know the arch is kind of like the photo opportunity. But I don't know. Thinking of other like cool photo opportunities, like the decorations
If
and stuff.
anyone has any painting skills, I have a ton of old plywood sitting in my backyard. You can cut holes in it and make little like pumpkins or ghosts, and they can put their face in it. If anyone wants to paint them,
I'm
Not me.
super artistic.
I can try.
I was like, you can come pick up some plywood
Yeah.
and then
That's a good idea, like
I
a
was-
photo op
Yeah.
type thing.
I was gonna say, my husband has a skill saw, so he can like cut it out too. And then I am half decent. I'm not entering any like competition.
Project onto there and if you have the ability.
Not that skilled, no.
You know,
I'll just-
it's Halloween.
Sure.
If it's a little scary looking, it's okay.
Like, wow, those
Yeah,
eyes
just
look
say-
really
just go with
soulless.
I do have a projector in the house, and we've done it before where we just like project the image and then you just trace it with like a paint Sharpie.
That's
And then you just essentially it's paint by color at that point. You just put the colors in.
Okay, yeah, that would definitely work.
Okay.
Okay,
Then
I
And
will.
the eyes wouldn't look so.
It's a possibility. Okay, I can do that.
Cool.
I'll find some ideas before I come pick it up.
perfect.
Run it by my husband, make sure he's able to, sometimes I pick very difficult things.
You know, do a couple like what do they usually like? Either like a
Basic.
scarecrow.
Yeah.
What could be like that? A pumpkin, a witch, whatever.
Mhm.
Like I don't
Okay.
know. If there's simpler ones, like the
I
outline
feel
of a
like pumpkin would
ghost,
be pretty basic and good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
like a Casper like style ghost, that'd be pretty simple.
That'd be cute. Okay. Could you, in the email, send a, like dimensions of how big they are?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
sure.
Cool.
And I have plenty of saws where like if you think of a certain, because what do they need to be like 4 feet tall?
Yeah.
Like kinda. I got plenty of wood. Like I just ripped apart an old kayak holder at the
Oh,
house.
okay.
So all that
You just
plywood.
need some kind of like base to hold it up.
Right.
Yeah.
But I have enough 2x4s where
Oh, okay.
if you
can
if
make
you just
like a-
angle one and then the other way and then like
Yeah.
that, it should.
I was gonna say, you just need like a nice little.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a little L stand, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You just keep adding until it quits falling over.
That's what I'm saying, you know?
I think that's a really good idea and interactive.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
Free,
Okay,
which is
cool.
nice.
Yeah. Perfect. Yeah, that'd be cool.
Or if they do wanna take pictures under the arch, they sell like those little like hand, like
Oh,
glasses
yeah.
and like stuff we could have for people to use.
A little face thing.
Let's go to the
Those are
Dollar
cute.
Tree and see what.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you find stuff like that, that's
Yeah.
cool.
Okay, cool.
And most of the kids come dressed up. They come in their Halloween costumes.
Yeah, but I think if the parents wanna take.
Yeah,
pictures, Yeah.
They have a photo opportunity, that'd be great.
Do we do like a best costume competition kind of thing?
Ooh, that would be
We've never
nice.
done it before.
That
We
would,
could.
that would require some intense cat herding.
Fair.
Yeah.
I've never been to it, so I'm
I was gonna
gathering.
say, I don't think you could get those kids to.
Is it
You,
pretty
you
loud?
win.
There's a- you want to find an objective.
Find the kid that's just sitting still.
Yeah. No, it's a miracle that we can even stage the thing out by age, like. It's a crowd and it's just like.
Go.
It's
Is
like,
it like in, so you do like an age range, they go, and then another, and then they go?
yeah,
Oh,
it's
okay.
a-
but it's
tempted.
just to get, you want the faster people out first, so
Yeah.
we just,
So you
I'm
start
just running out
older.
there and it's like, if you're in 6th grade, go.
Yeah.
Oh,
If you're
okay.
in 5th grade, go, and it just, and then they
And they
naturally
just
spread out.
Because
because
the
the bigger
littles don't
kids-
get trampled.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just thinking of like my 4-year-old.
yeah, and then on the last one, we're like, okay, watch out for the littles, everyone else can go out carefully. And
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's definitely chaos, fun chaos.
Fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, the kids love it.
And their costumes.
Mhm.
I'm sure it's hilarious.
Yeah.
Nice. I guess think, okay, well, like I said, we have another month for this too, so,
Yeah,
And we'll meet
next.
twice before it,
Twice.
right?
Oh, yeah.
September and, right?
Yeah, that's right.
So if you guys think of
23rd.
any other ideas that we could do, then that'd be great.
Yeah, we'll have 2 more meetings before.
Yeah, perfect. And then, like I said, yeah, let me know which husband says, and then I can take a crack at a couple of them too, so.
okay, cool, that'll be
Perfect.
perfect.
And in a couple of weeks, if my work doesn't get this big contract, then I can make the cornhole boards myself.
That would be great.
But if I do get that contract, I definitely won't have time.
Okay.
So,
Fair
And
enough.
if you do make whatever materials you get, we can reimburse that in the budget too.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Perfect.
yeah, no,
I
I've made
just
them
thought about that
before,
paint.
so I can whip them out pretty fast if you need to.
Send a picture, put it in the group chat, and see your work.
I'll send you the ones I made.
Like put, the Estacada Parks and Rec somehow on it,
Oh,
I'm always.
get a sticker.
Yeah, probably just.
A sticker would be
Yeah,
easiest.
sticker.
Yeah.
Like the ones I did before, I painted, they were for my mother-in-law's birthday, so I did white and then I just did green with like I just hand drew kind of a vine type feel to it, so they're more rustic but elegant kind of things, stuff like that. Not quite my strong suit. Making the things, that's easy.
Cool sticker on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you got time to do it.
Yeah, and that'll be the thing. If we don't get that contract, I would have time because I could do them in like a weekend, but.
Perfect.
But yeah, so we'll know by, I think, the 12th is when we're supposed to know if we're gonna get the contract or not.
Cool.
So I can just drop an email and say, hey, I'm on it. So I'll let you guys know one way or the other.
Great. Cool. Anything else?
Yeah, city's looking at the Crestacada site for it is a site where we're daring people to do things, kind of. So there's a bunch of legal copy on there that should cover it, but they're making sure that everything on there is legit.
Cool.
So, and then, so I held off on printing the stickers, even though they're all done. Only because I'm just waiting for that, because I went ahead and added the logo on there, but I'm like, I want to make sure I'm allowed to put the logo on there before I print them. And then I'll also add the logo to the site when that gets final approval, so.
Got it. Cool.
That's it.
All right. And, okay, so all through the agenda, commission, any miscellaneous comments? Questions, anything? No? Perfect. We can adjourn the meeting. Thank you.